covered all the mammals. Now we're on to birds. Yes, I did get a haircut. This was an accidental buzz cut, believe me or not. Now we're covering the birds. Out of the birds, we saw over 600 individual birds as a collective. Out of all those 600 plus individuals, we saw about 128 different species. Now, I'm not going to go through all of those, so I'm just going to go through the more common ones and the ones I saw as well. To start off with, the most common bird we saw was the vulturine guinea fowl. Now, there was also another guinea fowl species we saw, which was the helmeted guinea fowl, which wasn't as commonly seen as the vulturine. And to tell the difference is you look more, well, they've got different patterns. The vulturine have those white stripy type things, and they look like they're going through a midlife crisis from that weird haircut going on. Helmeted guinea fowl, it's in the name, they look like they have helmets on. We also saw yellow-necked spurfowl. We've also seen the lilac-breasted roller, which is Kenyan's national bird. To see rosy-patched bush strikes duetting. There are loads of different species of strikes, some of which we couldn't identify because when bird watching you have to take a lot of time because there is such a huge diversity in birds. I'm more into New Zealand birds, but that's probably a different video though. Now strikes, they tend to have a hooked bill. Their diet consists of mainly small insects. We also saw different thrushes tend to have a longer and narrower beak. They also eat insects, but they also eat seeds and fruit and worms. Saw loads of weaver nests. We also saw the weaver birds, which tend to have a little bit a bigger beak than thrushes and more triangular. They eat seeds, grains and insects. Common bird that we saw were the starlings, the superb starlings. Could be confused with the Hillebrand starling. Now the difference between the two is the superb starling has a black face, a black head, yellow eyes and a white chest ring, whereas the Hillebrands have red eyes instead and they do not have the white chest ring. There was also the greater blue-eared starling. We also saw hornbills. There were 3 main species of hornbills. There was the von der Decken hornbill, which is sort of completely black on the wing but have like a little white patch. The male has a slightly red orange beak and black, whereas the females have completely black beaks. There's also the Jackson's hornbill, which have more of white speckles on the wings, and again the females have a completely black beak and the males have slightly white yellow. And then there's the red-billed hornbill, which in the name both the male and the female tend to have some red bill. They're also speckled. So grey go-away birds, they're called go-away birds because apparently they sound like they say go away. Everyone said they sound like they say go, go, go. I don't really hear it, but then no, that doesn't really matter. Cool looking mohawk almost. To tell the difference between a male and female, the male has a black beak where the female tends to have a more greenish beak. We saw loads of Egyptian geese as well. They're called Egyptian geese because their colour pattern is similar to the Egyptian army's colour pattern. The yellow-billed oxpecker and the red-billed oxpecker. Now to tell the difference, the yellow-billed oxpecker has a bit of yellow in its beak, where the red-billed oxpecker does not. They are known to have a mutualistic relationship with the mammals in Africa. However, there are times where they can become parasitic, and that's when they start opening up wounds, and that increases the risk of infections. Overall, not great. Speaking about mutualistic relationships, we also have the yellow-billed egret that we saw together with I believe it was a white rhino. No, probably not. It's probably the black rhino. We saw a yellow-billed egret with a black rhinoceros in Olpejeta. We saw some vultures. Couldn't ID the vultures specifically, but we knew they were vultures. Or a tawny eagle, which had just eaten a dik-dik. We saw the carcass. I didn't personally, but there was a carcass of a dik-dik. And then we saw a tawny eagle in the tree, which had a little bit of meat hanging out from its beak, and its crop was full. The crop, by the way, is where Most birds store their food and then it goes through the proventriculus and into the gizzard. Proventriculus is like the chemical digestion, where the gizzard is the mechanical digestion. Loads of black-shouldered kite. I think that's their name. It could have changed to just the black-winged kite, but I know them as the black-shouldered kite, so that's what I'm gonna call them until proven otherwise. So loads of crown lapwing. Some people call them plovers, but they're actually lapwings. I don't think there's a difference, but don't take my word for it. Some people did see ostriches. I got to see a glimpse of them on the way back to the airport. The males have the black feathers, where the females have grey or lighter coloured feathers. Because they take turns of taking care of the egg, the male takes the night shift, where the females takes the day shift. We also got to see a Cory bustard, not bastard, bustard, and that's apparently one of the heaviest light full birds. I never know what to say when a bird can fly. There's flightless, so is it flight full? There are loads of other birds as well.
This is a ring-necked dove.
Ah.
See the ring on the neck?
That was my quick recap of all the birds that we saw. I hope you appreciate the shirt.